Hey guys, this is Josh. We're going to be going over a step-by-step install instructions for you Mac users out there when it comes to learning to install Node, Yarn, Less, and Less Watch Compiler. It's quite a bit. So buckle up. Here we go. First thing we need to do is install Homebrew. So if you're following my guide on the training kit, all you got to do is middle mouse click on that bad boy, and you will see Homebrew pops up. Notice that Homebrew has this big nasty right here. Well, we need to get this thing inside of our terminal. So notice I have my terminal open. If you've not opened your terminal before, you can just do a command spacebar and open up a spotlight and start typing in terminal, which will then open up this terminal. You don't have to do anything else. Just open it up and paste in that link you just got from Homebrew. Notice that Homebrew is already giving us instructions. It says press return to continue or any other key to abort. So we're going to say, okay, continue. And it's going to say, okay, you need a password. So I'm going to put in my computer's password, which is just my computer. Well, that's not the password, but you know, your own computer's password. Put it in there, and then you will see that all of Homebrew gets installed. And by the time it's done, you'll get this final prompt here, and you're ready to go. So at this point, let's come back to our setup and we'll notice some things. First off, you were supposed to follow those instructions, so I talked to you about that. Number 2, pay attention to the terminal as the installer will ask for a password, which you just went over. Number 3, the Homebrew installer automatically includes Node.js. Super helpful, super nice. So we should, at this point, be able to say node-v. And there it is. There's our latest version of Node that it grabbed. So we are all caught up. Okay, next step, install Yarn using Homebrew. Once Homebrew has been installed, run brew install yarn. Okay, so brew is part of the syntax of the Homebrew package manager that we just got. So brew install yarn. It's going to install yarn, which is very nice. At this case, by the way, if you didn't follow the link, sorry, you can go right to Yarn, and what we're doing is we're following Yarn's instructions. So Yarn said, hey, go use Homebrew because it's a great package manager. I can attest to this. Homebrew's the best, well, one of the best package managers for Mac operating systems. So you're doing yourself a favor for now and the future. That being aside, brew install yarn. It says, hey, warning, yarn is already installed and up to date. Must be from a previous install, but if it wasn't there, it would have said it would have installed everything. So moving to the next step, we will then come into, by the way, if things didn't look good, you can do a brew upgrade yarn. I put that in just in case you needed it, but that's overkill maybe. Test that yarn is running by running yarn -- version. There we go. We've got our version. We're looking good. Now we're going to go into step 3, installing Less. You will see our commands have global in them. Please write the commands exactly as you see them. Global installing packages is ideal for our learning situation. As you learn more about Yarn in the future, you will be using a lock file to control your packages, but for now, please use the global keyword. If anybody has experience with Yarn, you're going, I don't want to do that. I want to use my lock file, but I'm telling you, please, just for these 2 days of pre-processing, use the global because we don't want to have node modules and we don't have to worry about that in Git. So right now, just use global for what we're doing. Okay, so open terminal and run yarn global add less. So yarn is the command we just built. Global is installing it on our machine, and add less is the command that's going to give us less on our computer. So if I run this command, there we go. Success. Installed Less 3.0.1, which is the latest version. So we know we're looking good. If it's not working, restart terminal and try again, just in case that happens to you. All right, step 4. Open terminal and run the following. Yarn global add less watch compiler. Let's run it. Sweet. It's installed. Looking good. So far, so good. Step 5 now. I'm going to be going over Less Watch Compiler in detail in the guided demo. This is just in preparation, so don't worry about not knowing what these things are. Of course, you can Google them yourselves, but I'll explain these things later. Step 5, use LessWatch compiler on your project. So stop the video, fork and clone preprocessing part 1, change directory into your project, and then start the video. Go ahead and do that now. Okay, welcome back. Once you are in the root of your project, run the following command. So I'm going to go ahead and get into the root of my project. So I'm going to change directory. It's going to be in my documents. This is just unique to my build, okay? You have your own build, your own local build. I put my stuff inside of documents, and then I use a Git folder, and I know it's called preprocessing 1. Let's see, preprocessing part -1, right? Okay, there it is. I can run ls to see all the files inside of my folder. And you can see here that I have my files. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you my Finder over here. And you'll notice that if you look at my CSS file, I'm going to open this up in Visual Studio Code. And it says, hey, compile your less file. I don't have it built yet. So if I were to open this up right now in a browser, you will see that the CSS is not working. That's on purpose. This is a good indicator that your project is not set up correctly yet. So what we're going to do now is we're going to run that last command right here. LessWatch compiler less CSS index.less, just like that. Okay, go into my terminal. I had to be CD'd into my project first. I run the command. Now it says watching directory for file changes. That's what I want to see. Now I'm going to run my index.html and check it out. My CSS is now working. And if we look at my Visual Studio Code, you'll see I now have, excuse me, a CSS file compiling correctly. The why and what of this we will cover later, but just get this stuff working so that you can get your project going. I will cover all this stuff in detail later. Thanks, guys. Good luck.